Good to see everyone. Some new faces. Alex, welcome.
How's it going?
Good. I'm not sure you've joined a call before, have you?
I have not.
Oh, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Just hope everybody makes it over because this is the first time we're using a new link for the meeting, which we'll get into why in a second.
Yeah, it seems to have worked. Every time you try a new Zoom link, it's always nerve-wracking.
I'm gonna make you a co-host, Brian. If you see anybody joining in, I'm mid presentation. Make sure they get in. Get they're allowed to come in.
Great.
Forget what the word is. Okay. Okay, it is 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna start. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. This little bar wasn't in my view. Okay. This is the June 2025 general meeting of the board party. So we'll start it. As you may notice, I am not Christian, and that is because Christian is becoming a candidate fight instead of chairman fight. Uh, he has an opportunity to run for New Kensington's treasurer. There is no Democrat or Republican running for that in that race, and it is a golden opportunity for the Ford Party to get a win under our belt in a significant city. So he is running for in that race. So but in order to run, there are some uh, ethical considerations. So he had to take a step back from the chairmanship, and right now we are classifying it as a leave of absence. In hopefully he will be back soon enough, but he can't. For those reasons, he can't serve as the chairman until after the election. So at our last leadership meeting this month, we elected uh, myself as the vice chair, and then immediately afterwards, Christian made his leave of absence official, and I became the acting state chair. So that is why I'm here instead of Christian.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, congrats and very clever. Okay.
Peter, welcome.
Well, I haven't been around much because I've been under treatment for cancer, but I'm still under treatment, but I'm on the home stretch, hopefully.
Welcome, Peter. That's great. Glad you were here.
And tonight we are being joined by Jeff from March on Harrisburg. Jeff, if you could unmute yourself and talk about what's happening with your organization.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so my name is Jeff Kaiser. I am a volunteer with March on Harrisburg. I met with Christian in the PA Democracy Collaborative, and we started talking about some things that March on Harrisburg is doing, and maybe want to talk about some ways that we can help each other out, our organization help you, and vice versa. So. For those of you who are not familiar with March on Harrisburg, we are a statewide volunteer-driven pro-democracy, good government organization. So we are trying to get money out of politics in Harrisburg, and we're also trying to improve democracy in Harrisburg as well. So we've got what we call our Money Out and People In campaigns. And the way we operate is we try to promote legislation in Harrisburg to deal with money in politics and improve democracy. At the moment, we are working on 3 bills in Harrisburg. One is our flagship bill that we work on every session, and it never seems to pass, but we are working on a gift ban bill to prevent lobbyists from being able to give whatever they want to our lawmakers. For those of you who don't know, Pennsylvania is one of 3 states in the country that has no limit on what lobbyists can give to our public officials. We have reporting requirements that are quite lax and easy to work around, but there's no limit. So we were trying to push a common sense gift ban bill in Harrisburg to get that, to make that illegal, to limit the ability for legislators to potentially corrupt or bribe our politicians. And we're working on 2 other bills as well. On the people inside, we are working on a bill to make ranked choice voting an option in Pennsylvania. So we'll see where that goes as well. And then the last bill, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about it, but it's a bill that is intended to make U.S. corporations that have significant foreign ownership to the point where foreign entities can control the way a U.S. corporation spends its money from being able to spend on elections in Pennsylvania. So those are the types of things that we are currently working on in March on Harrisburg. So that's the real quick overview of who we are and kind of what we're working on. When I was talking to Christian, we were talking about ways that we might be able to help each other out. We would love it if any of your candidates that might run statewide would take some of our platforms and run on them. And we have lots of information about lawmakers in Harrisburg and whether or not they support some of our platform. So we can provide information on that if anyone would choose to do that. So that's just a couple thoughts of how we might be able to help each other out. So that's March on Harrisburg and what we're working on. So any thoughts or questions on what we're doing? And
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do you take any action on lobbying and its impact on getting legislation passed? I mean, on specific bills, for example.
I'm not sure I'm following your question. We are targeting the money that lobbyists can give to
I'm
lawmakers.
sorry,
trying
we're what?
So one of the things we do work on is what lobbyists could possibly give to lawmakers as far as money. We're trying to change that dynamic between them because they are very cozy.
That's in the abstract. I'm talking about. I'm thinking about a bill, and I don't remember the number of it. Exactly what at the moment. Oh, I know what it was about. It was a bill which got passed. In which says that this, I guess it would be the state doing it, although it's really to benefit natural gas, et cetera.
Mm.
That the state can, what's the word? They can take over your land. I'm blocking on the word right now. And they can bury, just go on your property if they want to,
Mhm.
and bury carbon monoxide on it.
Mhm.
And it's a very egregious, and I confronted my state representative about it. And she said, I mean, she voted for it. And I said, why? And she said, because we had to pass the budget. And it was like a D-Day to pass the budget or something like that. So it had to be passed. Whereas my state representative told me he refused to sign it two times, and he would do it a third time. But anyway, it's law. It's law now.
Right, right, right.
I'm wondering, do you get involved in things like that?
So yes, we do get involved in particular bills. As I said, we have we have two bills currently in the House that are gift ban bills that I talked about, and there's one in the Senate in the moment, and we do lobby for those directly. Um, there are three bills or four bills total in the House that we are lobbying for. I will say this: there are so many things, so many bills out there that we could lobby for that all are impactful, and but we can't lobby for all of them. But this is kind of our position: is as long as there's money in politics, as long as there's corruption in politics, as long as the democracy is not very strong, as long as the people in power are more worried about where they're going to get their next campaign contribution than whether their voters are going to vote for them. They're going to listen to the people that are giving them money. So they're
Sure, I
going to
know,
follow.
yes,
They're going to
exactly.
follow the
Yeah.
interest of the companies and the billionaires and stuff like that. If we can break that hold that the ruling class has on our lawmakers, a lot of the types of bills that you are talking about won't get passed, and some other bills that do help people will get passed. So that's kind of the position. That's kind of the strategy that we take. We try to attack the corruption. We think once the corruption is taken care of, all of the other problems that are being created in our legislature will start going away naturally because they have to listen to their voters, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Hey,
And I agree with you that that sounds like a horrible bill. I think I remember seeing that when it came through, but yeah, that's the power that the oil and gas industry has in Pennsylvania, unfortunately.
Yeah.
John, you have a question.
yeah, Jeff, thanks. And thanks for coming on. I mean, I think this is great. Over the last couple of years, it seems pretty clear to a lot of us that the overarching guiding principles of March on Harrisburg align well with the Forward Party here in Pennsylvania. I'm curious, actually, if you could just give us a snapshot of the nuts and bolts of it. So we're organized as a political action committee right now because we're not an authorized party quite yet in Pennsylvania. Are you a registered lobbyist? How are you guys organized? And what did you have to do in order to get access to Harrisburg so that you can lobby? When you say I lobbied for a bill, what does that look like? You personally put on a suit, you show up and knock on a door and that sort of thing. And how are you guys legally organized in the state?
Sure. So March on Harrisburg is both a 501c3 and a 501c4. The C3 side, the nonprofit side, is more of our educational side. That's the side where we promote our policies, where we use that to promote ranked choice voting across the state. I see there's a slide coming up on ranked choice voting for one of our events. So that would fall under our education side. But most of our work is done on the 501c4 side, where we do our political spending. Now, we don't do political spending as in contributing to campaigns or anything like that. It's where, well, Michael Pollock, if you're familiar with him, he runs March on Harrisburg effectively. He gets paid. He's a paid member of the organization. He and Andrea are both paid. Everyone else in March on Harrisburg is a volunteer like myself, but the money that they get paid from is paid out of the 501c4 side of it. He lobbies in Harrisburg. which is why he's paid out of that side of it. And that's how we're organized. So it's just those two paid members, and everybody else in March on Harrisburg is a volunteer of some kind. Now, as far as lobbying, there's no special paperwork requirements or anything to lobby. Anyone here in this chat can call up your representative, ask for a meeting, and go tell them about the things that you care about, and go meet them in their office. That's exactly what I do. I am not a registered lobbyist because I am not paid as a lobbyist. Only paid lobbyists, from the way I read the laws, only paid lobbyists have to actually register and submit financial disclosure documents. And so I'm not paid to do this. I don't have to do this. But yes, I call up or send emails to the offices. I request meetings. I do put on a suit. A suit's not required, but that's what I do because I want to show respect to the office that I'm going to visit. And I go in and I talk to them about the bills that we are promoting.
Thank you.
What kind of response are you getting when you meet with people?
Well, it depends. So the bills that we are promoting are relatively nonpartisan. So corruption is not a Republican or Democrat issue. Everybody cares about corruption. The same thing for the most part with pro-democracy stuff. We're pushing ranked choice voting right now, but we support a lot of other ideas like ending gerrymandering, open primaries, same-day voter registration, and things like that. We don't have bills for any of those things, but all of those things are things that we would support. And again, those are maybe not as bipartisan as the corruption side, but still, it's not too bad there. So we get. So I will say this: if you talk about the gift ban, again, that's the one that we really, really want to pass. That's the one we always want to pass every session. I would say the rank and file legislators in Harrisburg are, for the most part, receptive to the idea. I just talked to a freshman lawmaker last week who was surprised that it was legal for lobbyists to give whatever. There were no limits. He was a former cop, and they have very strict gift receiving laws around that. Public officials, government officials have really strict laws around that, but the legislature does not. So he was very surprised to hear that when I informed him of that. So the rank and file are definitely against it. When you get higher up into leadership, not so much. They probably get the better gifts. Lobbyists report roughly $1.5 million spent in gifts in Pennsylvania every year. So somebody's getting all that. So that's the best answer I can give you, at least on that bill. Ranked choice voting, we generally get good feedback, good response from Democrats. If I am talking to a Republican who is not familiar with ranked choice voting at all, and I get a chance to explain it to them before they hear some of the misinformation that's out there, a lot of times they are very receptive to it. But those who have heard about it and heard some of the misinformation, I do get pushback on those. But a couple of those people I have talked to and shown them where their understanding of ranked choice voting isn't what they thought. Every now and then I can get one turned, but it's not that common.
So Jeff, how do you guys choose the things you're going to advocate for? And do you have like an executive committee, and you take a look at everything that's coming out of committee, and then you decide you're going to target something this season, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we did make a decision at the beginning of the session. As I said, every session we push for a gift ban. The other two bills that we're pushing this session are bills that we pushed last session as well. And I will say both the Foreign Influence Corporation bill that I mentioned and the ranked choice voting bills this session actually came through us to the legislature. We provided the text for both of those bills. So not only do we find bills to push when they're out there, like the gift ban bills, but we will also provide bills. So yeah, so Rep Webster took our Foreign Influence Corporation bill last session, and he ran with it, and he introduced it again this session. So we do both of those things. And on top of the lobbying side, we also do lots of other things. I mentioned education. We do lots of letters to the editor. If we feel the legislature needs a push, sometimes we will do nonviolent direct actions, just full disclosure. But yeah, that's kind of how we operate.
How are you guys structured? How many people are in your organization? How spread are you around the state? How big's your executive committee?
So um, so we are across the state. Some places a little heavier than others. We're quite heavy in Philadelphia and the Pittsburgh areas because that's where the population is. Not so heavy in most of the rest of the state, but we do have a presence most anywhere. Michael made a good description of our organization. If we wanted to, we could be in any representative's district with 25 people to do whatever needs to be done in that area.
Well,
So it's a pretty large organization. The leadership within, outside of the board, the leadership within March on Harrisburg, I would say is probably 20 or so people altogether. We're actually getting ready to do a retreat this weekend to meet as a group and kind of plan out the rest of our year this year. But we've got quite a few people that all take on different roles within the organization and do different things and take on different jobs that they're good at. I'm good at the lobbying side. I suck at social media. Somebody else is doing that, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sorry, I see a couple other hands up, so I'm just going to jump around here. Alex, you had a question?
I didn't have a question. I just wanted to say I've been following you guys for a while now, so it's cool to see one of, in person, one of you. Well, not in person, but virtually. So I'm a big fan.
Oh, well, great, great. Thank you. Glad to hear it. I will say I've only been in the organization a little more than a year, but I personally have jumped in with both feet because it's just important work that needs to happen. So thank you. David.
Yes, thank you for being here tonight. I'm definitely a big fan of what you're doing. I'm in favor of ranked choice voting, independent redistricting, open primaries. I know that there's some other organizations in PA focused on that. Some of those things, like Ballot PA focused on open primaries, Fair Districts PA focused on independent redistricting. I'm not aware of a PA specific organization that's focused on ranked choice voting. Out of curiosity, do you know of any others focused on ranked choice voting? And do you have any relationships with any of the other organizations I mentioned?
We do have relationships with Fair Districts, who's pushing the constitutional amendment for Pennsylvania. So we have a good relationship with them. We work with Fair Vote for ranked choice voting. Now, Fair Vote is the national organization, but we have one of our members, Armin Sammy in the Pittsburgh area. He's heavily involved in ranked choice voting. He's worked on ranked choice voting software actually himself. He's kind of our liaison between March on Harrisburg and Fair Vote. Fair Vote is actually the organization that gave us the bill text that we provided to Harrisburg, to the two bills that are going to be introduced, one in the House and one in the Senate. So that's our interaction on the ranked choice voting side. As far as I know, we're the only Pennsylvania specific group doing ranked choice voting that I've heard of, that I'm aware of. But we interface with lots of other groups. We're here interfacing with you guys today. We are a member organization of the Poor People's Campaign. So we deal with the Debt Collective and Medicaid Army, and there's an immigrant rights group that we interface with. So we have lots of organizations that we work with across the Pennsylvania and also nationally. Rachel.
Not surprisingly, David sort of asked my question. He like read my mind, but I was wondering. I think the answer is no. But like I was wondering if you're a a spoke of any wheels that these organizations, he named all the ones already. I wasn't sure. I know we like have partner organizations and folks we endorse and they endorse us, or in other ways we cross promote, but you're all separate, right? None of you, and what I'm leading up to is not to state the obvious, but like we align with all those things, right? Structural reform is one of our top priorities across forward, and in Pennsylvania, the ones you name are, really the top ones for us: opening the primaries, independent redistricting committees, and some form of ranked choice, final two, final 5-star voting. So I just hope that you guys know that. And so when you say like our candidates, we would, when we vet them, I would say they should be on board with at least most of that, if not all of that. I would think that they're your people and you guys are our people. And with all these groups, I always wonder, are we duplicating work? Are we duplicating, like, how much more coordinated can these groups get? And then just please invite us, to your stuff, because, we're all trying to do these things. And I wonder how much time we might be duplicating efforts, or you guys know something or made something that we're now trying to make, but it's already made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that we've been very much aligned on the pro-democracy side, all of the things that you just mentioned. We're not aware of a whole lot of organizations that really focus on the anti-corruption side besides ourselves. So anything there that we can encourage you to support as well, we would, love to see that. That's, one way that you can help us and get our message out. And like I said, we've talked to a lot of the lawmakers. We know we have a pretty good idea who supports ranked choice voting, who supports the gift ban and all those things. So we can provide intel,
Yeah.
so to speak, on anyone in the legislature today and kind of what their positions are. So that's how we can help you as well. And if any of your candidates were to go into district and go heavy into like a gift ban platform or whatever, I'm sure a lot of March on Harrisburg people would show up and flyer for that issue.
No, that's
So
really good to know, because I think, a lot of us optimistically are like, our time has come. Everybody wants these things, but like corruption is the two things, like Norma mentioned, like everything's stuffed in one big beautiful bill and like we had to pass it, but like really individual items they disagree with. That's happening here. It's happening nationwide. It's making the news. Same thing with corruption, like more so than ever, some might say. I haven't been through as many cycles as some other folks, but like it's, somebody runs on a strong anti-corruption policy at the state or federal level, like that's a ticket to victory, so like it's hopefully you guys will get more. It's a new-ish message. It's like an old message that's really never had as much appetite or blatancy, if that's a word. So
yeah,
we'll do whatever we can.
Yeah, no, and I'll just say on to that, we've always known, quote unquote, known that politics is corrupt, but no one has really seen it or understands how it affects them. Well, right now it's affecting them. What's going on in DC, you can draw a straight line from corruption to what's happening. So people are now being affected by it. So, and we just need to make that point. And we can try to fix that in Pennsylvania too, because Pennsylvania has similar problems. So yeah, no, absolutely agreed. There's definitely going to be, we're hoping there's going to be an awakening after what's going on right now.
Right. Getting back to the slideshow and kind of going off of Rachel's point of cross promoting events. If I can get the slide to go forward. March on Harrisburg has a Rank the Coffee event at Elementary Coffee in Harrisburg. If you are able to scan the QR code there, it will take you to their website for you to RSVP. It's scheduled for Saturday, June 28th. So if you want to speak more to that.
Sure. So we've got this event going on in Harrisburg. We do these ranked choice voting events periodically. It's a good, quick, like fun way to introduce ranked choice voting to anybody who's not interested in it. So what we'll do is we'll go to this coffee shop and you'll get a flight of coffees and you will rank the coffees that you like, and we will vote on which one is like the consensus favorite of everybody in the shop that has come to participate in this. We've done very similar events. We've done rank the beers in the Philadelphia area. We're looking at doing a rank the beers event in the Pittsburgh area as well. Actually, on this coming Wednesday, we have a rank the hard cider event in Germantown in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, in Philadelphia as well. You might be able to see other ranked choice voting events that you can come and participate in if you're curious on our website. Um, but yeah, but that's what we're doing, and this is a way for us to promote this reform to the general public.
Thank you, Jeff. Moving on, we have another announcement. Gabe, who has been active with our state organization, he leads the Young Fortis. You might have to move your little screen what has all the other people's faces on it. But National names a volunteer of the month, and this month it's been Gabe. So we congratulate him for his efforts and check out the Young Fortis whenever you can. Um, Moving on, uh, as as we are a political uh, party, or we're looking to become a more official political body. Uh, we're getting close to a deadline. You have to be, you can still get on the ballot for the November elections for the municipal races. You have to be registered as an independent or non-affiliated voter uh, to do this. But you can, just like Christian did, there's a race that open, throw your hat into the ring, and you're likely to make a wave in that, if not get elected yourself. So, but the paperwork does have to be in by the end of July. So,
Is
uh,
it so? I have two people in the borough council that are currently registered Republican, and I'm trying to see the legality of it. I believe you can just switch to independent and then you can start gathering signatures, correct? Or do you have to wait a few weeks? I don't know how it works. I don't
so
remember
the
if it was like a 2 week thing or something.
so Pennsylvania, unfortunately, is a state that has a sore loser law, where you actually have to be registered as an independent, non-affiliated, or third party, those or third party 30 days prior to the primary, and maintain that status from that day all the way until November. So if they are registered as a Republican right now, unfortunately, they cannot run or get on the ballot for the November election. Their best bet would be to try to mount a write-in campaign
Mm-hmm.
and basically show up on the November election day with a stack of papers and try to get all their friends to show up at all the precincts and just hand a paper out to every voter coming in saying, please vote for me on this. Please write me in on this uh, for this race. It can
Gotcha.
be done. 2 years ago, I'm actually originally from Du Bois,
Mm-hmm.
and you might have been, you might have seen the issues with Du Bois in the news over the past couple of years. They The people in charge at the time were very corrupt, in fact, criminally corrupt. Uh, like stacks of or bags of cash being discovered. So at the last municipal election, a group of about three people decided to amount of write-in campaign, and they were able to get elected. And all three, if I remember right, it was 2 council members and the mayor all got elected as without in a write-in campaign. So it is possible. So
It's, I thought the sore loser law only applies if they ran in the primary.
way it is written, it actually kind of screws over anybody looking to run as a third party or independent, because if you literally vote in the primary, you can't run as an independent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it really sucks. It came up, it does come up more prevalent in a presidential year, because last year, uh, I forget who it was, which party it was, but some of the challenges to the statewide candidates last year uh, for the electors in the electoral college was that they had voted in the primary, and the way the uh, rule is written, they can't do that. And they probably, I didn't follow that case too closely, but it's very difficult to overcome a challenge when if somebody challenge you on voter registration, because it's pretty uh, cut and dry in the language of the bill.
Hmm. But they do have to challenge them first, I believe, right? Because
Yeah,
with Berks County, they just take it unless they're challenged.
yeah, that's the way it does happen. But if anybody is if anybody is paying attention and really wants to be that type of person, uh, they can challenge, and they they'll probably win,
All right.
because
Dan, could you clarify something for me? You were speaking about running as an independent. In the last election, the Forward Party got sufficient votes so that Eric Settle could run as on the Forward Party, right? So in other words, so are we now on the ballot? In other words, do we have to qualify over and over again, or?
no. What happened last year with uh, actually, for anybody looking to run as a third party or independent, they have ballot access. They just need to gather the required number of signatures.
Uh-huh,
Uh, what we were trying to do last year was to become a minor party. We did not hit that mark.
we didn't know, I thought we did, okay.
No, unfortunately, we did not. But it was still very important for us to run those 2 races, because it activated our entire everybody across the state and helped us gain experience running election, because when we have municipal elections like this, uh, we have Christian running in New Kensington, but our friends over in Philadelphia uh, don't even live 100 miles from his municipality. So it's very important for us to. It was very important for us last year to have a statewide race where everybody got to participate in it.
So
Even though,
now Christian will run as a member of the Forward Party, right?
yeah,
Or will he be will the ballot say independent or?
he's running as a Fordist. We actually have in actually 2 years ago, we were able to get uh, Chris Woodward elected as a township auditor as a Fordist. We always, if we can gather enough signatures for the race, they can appear on the ballot as a Fordist. Chris Woodward appeared on ballot as forwardist. Eric and Chris Foster last year were able to qualify as forwardists. And as long as Christian gets 100 signatures by the end of July, he's going to qualify as a forwardist.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and if you're
Excuse me, Ben, I'm confused about something, so I imagine some other people might be as well.
sure,
When you say forwardist, sometimes I hear the word forwardist used to describe even Republicans or Democrats who are just aligned with forward ideals. So when you say forwardist, do you literally mean a member of the Forward Party registered as such?
well, the ballot is going to say forward. Technically, we are what is called a political body. It is the same status as any independent is running. So they can say whatever they want to appear, whatever party they want to appear as on the ballot. Technically, there has even been some people who claim to be part of the Jedi Party or weird parties like that. They happen every year. But if you can get on your nomination papers, they'll ask you what party you want to be listed as when you run as an independent, and you can select that. Once you become a minor party, then you have to be registered to that minor party to run as that in that party.
So I'll give you guys a data point. A year ago, I changed my registration from Republican to Forwardist. When I got my new card in the mail, it came in as independent. So there is no forward party in Pennsylvania, as far as I know, legally you can register to. You, as Ben says, you can say what you want on the ballot, like if once you get signatures. But if you were to have a actual registration, you're essentially either independent or unaffiliated right now. At least that's the data point from my experience.
And it can vary from county to county because uh, I also registered as Fordist myself, and my voting card actually came back and said Ford Party.
Oh,
But
cool.
I actually had to physically write in forward to do that.
I did. I wrote it in, and
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Okay, well that's another data point. I'm very happy to hear that.
For what it's worth, I was able to do that also. My voter registration card does also say Forward Party.
Yeah. So,
That's in
so what?
Franklin County.
So what we do in the Ford Party is we have two approaches. For races where we don't think we can run somebody ourselves, we do have a strong endorsement game, and we are currently interviewing several candidates to possibly endorse. But we also have the ability to run people as on the ballot saying that they are Ford, that they are part of the Ford Party, but it through the independent process. So that's how we get on the ballot as a Ford Party. Did that answer your question?
Mostly it did. I do wonder if the word forwardist is ambiguous, something to possibly consider later, but I appreciate the clarification.
Sure. Rachel.
Yes, I was gonna jump in and sort of like try to help clarify. So forwardist, I think like if you are a forward party member, which again, you can go independent, you can click the drop down or type in forward. I've also done that. It may vary by county. I don't know actually what my card says. I know if you go online, it says that I'm registered as forward. And if I recognize that, but the state necessarily doesn't recognize it as a party, and it's a weird Pennsylvania thing, or maybe other states have it. But there's a value also in doing that, because I'm sure there's data to be had of like how many people are registered as forward, if that data is available. But also if you run and you're an independent, you run for judge of elections or whatever, you're getting people on election day used to seeing the word forward on the ballot as they work their way down. So there's some, I don't want to say passive, but like tacit marketing that goes on, that we're, what's this, that maybe someone goes home and Googles it, maybe somebody, you know, getting people used to seeing us out there. But because we run forward aligned Democrats and forward aligned Republicans, because again, we can't finance that many, we don't have that many candidates at one time. We can only, you know, it's both of those things. We also can only be involved in so many races. But when there's an aligned candidate who's willing to seek our endorsement and call themselves a forward Democrat or a forward Republican, you know, they're considered a forwardist. So I think when you say like they're running as a forward candidate versus like there are forwardists out there, there are forward, you know, people in our networks that we would say they align with us, but they may be registered, you know, in another third party or as nothing or something. So forwardist, I think, is more that big tent, like who's a forwardist, who's aligned with these things. And a forward party candidate or a sitting forward elected is really, you know, the full shebang. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might help clarify.
Yeah, so there is a little because we are trying to be a bigger tent, there is some ambiguity between how we refer to as a forward Democrat and a forward Republican versus somebody who's appearing on the ballot as a forwardist. Because another problem with the sore loser rule, it's also regarded as the no happy winners rule. We're not allowed fusion voting in the state, where if we wanted in other states, what third parties are allowed to do is to basically run the winner of a primary additionally as their own candidate, and then they would appear twice on the ballot, and if they get enough votes across both ballot lines, they would win the race. But we don't allow that in Pennsylvania because of the sore loser / happy winner rule. Uh, National is also having an event on June 25th, where Carrie Ann is hosting an informational meeting about running for office with the Ford Party. I encourage you to attend if you are able to and learn more about running for office at that time. All right. What else? Yes, Rachel.
So I just happened to get this email while the gentleman from March on Harrisburg was speaking, and it's from the Maryland Forward Party. And I'm going to get this to somebody where you can post it or send it out. But if you want it personally, you can reach out to me or Brian and I can send it to you. But they're hosting, it's an online event. It's June 26th. That's next Thursday at 7 p.m. It's a multi-participant panel on getting money out of politics. If there's some candidates in it, all 4 panelists are pro additional parties and aware of the stranglehold of money in politics. It should be an interesting discussion. So, you know, cross-promoting things in other states that are, you know, towards our same ends. It's virtual, so if somebody's interested in that, I can certainly send that along.
Sure. Another thing going forward is we need to make a push for more county involvement. So we need county leads. So if you want to make your county heard in the Ford Party or recruit candidates yourself and organize events and local events and signature drives and to help build our movement, please consider becoming a county lead and email me or the Pennsylvania Ford Party. and let us know that you're interested, and we'll start you on the process of becoming a county lead, and we'll hopefully grow our movement. I also need to mention that we can't grow without resources. Right now, we're making do with a couple $100 a month, which basically pays for our web services. But to make the impact we need to have more people. We need to have more donations so that we can actually have the effects that we hope to achieve. So if you can, please consider a monthly donation, even if it's as little as $1 a month. But we do need to, if you can, please consider donating, even if it's a one-time gift or hopefully more with the monthly donations. And you can do that. And be clear, there is Pennsylvania Ford Party has a different donation link than the national one, so make sure you're donating to the Pennsylvania Party because we need it more. Our next meeting will be on July 21st, 2025. Same time, same link, I believe. But whatever the link is in our emails and our communications, please use that one. But open floor, questions, comments, concerns. Rob.
I have, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Norma. You can go ahead.
Okay. I just got a flash a week or so ago, please donate, and I donated, but I'm not sure if it was to the national or if it was to our local group.
I could sort that out. If you maybe send an email back to what, Brian, info.
Yeah, I can help with
Ford
that,
Party.
Norma. Let's talk offline. We'll figure it out.
So yeah, I had a question. If anyone was did anyone kind of do the No Kings March? I think Pennsylvania, Philadelphia at least, I think we were the biggest march, out of even bigger than LA and New York. I've been hearing from some media outlets. I'm not sure how true that is. That surprised me, but just wondering how I guess March on Harrisburg, how they feel. I mean, it's clear you guys like marching. I think I met some of you back maybe 4 or 5 years ago when it was Humanity First or something like that. So very, very good organization, I see. But whether or not I personally wasn't at any of those marches for one reason or another. I just kind of a lot going on. But yeah, what do we think about this last weekend?
So Rob, we were in Ocean City, New Jersey this last weekend and went to breakfast, and there were like 15 or 20 people carrying signs on the 9th Street Bridge. Ate breakfast, came back, there were hundreds of people. It became like a love fest. Everybody was driving by, tooting horns and waving and giving thumbs up. It backed the bridge up all the way into Summers Point. It was pretty amazing for a little bitty Ocean City, New Jersey. So
Oh, it's a lot of, I think a lot of pent up angst over the past couple months that people like to get out, but whether or not it's directed well remains to be seen, I think.
I mean, there was
I
very
will
little. I think there were no arrests or altercations. I mean, someone always falls or gets hurt or gets heat stroke. There wasn't hot this weekend, but I think it was like 80 or 100,000 in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It was a big one here in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
the home base, I think. And I think there was a lot of people discouraged from doing it in DC, though there was still some turnout. San Francisco, I think, had a big one. In Minneapolis, I think got 80,000, even though they told people to stay home or something like that. Don't quote me on the number, but they had a turnout, even though there was a madman on the loose. So
Wow, yeah, that's super impressive considering. I mean, in DC, there was I didn't see any wide shot of any kind of like of any of that gathering. So
well, I mean, the whole army was there,
it's
so you
interesting.
might not want to risk it. I don't know. But there
Everybody
was
was
this
just kind of
balancing act of like not, still respecting veterans, not interrupting that parade, things like that. So there's a lot of considerations, things like that. I think.
makes it, yeah, it may be similar to when the Pope visited Philadelphia. It's not a lot of people left Philly, not because we didn't respect the Pope at the time, Pope Francis. We just were very concerned the whole city was going to be a lockdown and you wouldn't be able to get out and do anything. So
Yeah.
very interesting to see.
Yeah, DC, they didn't want the protest to appear to be a protest against the military. That was the big thing. They also didn't want to add to the numbers for the parade, so we could see what the actual numbers were, which turned out to be less than 10,000 in DC. So that's why they moved it to Philadelphia. Philadelphia alone had 80,000
Yeah.
from what I saw. We had probably 5,000 in Harrisburg, which was more than double the hands-off protest back in April. I mean, the protests were more than double from April. They totally exploded. Every time Trump does something really stupid and crazy, like the military deployments, we get more protesters. So, and we march from Philadelphia to Harrisburg. I wouldn't call those marches, but they were good protests.
Yeah, that's a hell of a distance to be marching.
We do multi-day marches when we march. That's how we get attention. It's in our name. It's what we do.
Any other thoughts, comments, questions?
Well, Christian is a candidate now. He's going to need, door knockers and signature gatherers and, some support to get him out on the street and, promote his candidacy, even though, it's like this weird thing where he's running unopposed, as long as he gets on the ballot, but that's like 70% of races, right? If a Democrat is running unopposed, we still want them to run a campaign. So, we just need to embrace it and run this campaign. So, we'd like to use his campaign as a building block to get people involved. And yeah, we're gonna do the thing. Yeah.
Write Zach's name down. He said he'll go because there is a point to be made that you don't know what other people are collecting signatures. Like at this point, there's no one running from a major party, but that doesn't mean that he will be unopposed.
That's a very good point. There could definitely be other people collecting signatures at the same time. Yeah, Zach, does someone have your contact information? I'm not sure I do, but as long as Ben does. Okay, great. We'll get in touch then. Yeah, and I wonder, Alex, would you have a moment? Would you be interested in sharing what you're doing with the group?
Oh, yes. I was I'm talking with you guys, I believe. Hold on, I gotta look at my calendar. I know we're talking next week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to the 26th, yes. I'm trying to seek the endorsement of the Ford Party. I'm running for mayor of my town.
So let me just give everyone a background. Alex emailed the group Forward Party like 3 years ago, very
Oh
early.
yeah, that was a while. I'm
said-
surprised you remember that.
No, I remember because he was holding a college group highlighting third parties in Pennsylvania. The Stare Party is what you maybe you could. I mean, I don't know. I know that was a long time ago.
That was a
You're out of
long,
college
yeah.
now.
It's long,
But-
long gone now.
Yeah, it stayed on our minds since then, and I'm glad you're running for office now. And yeah, what are you running for?
It's a town of 439 people. Good old Lyons, Pennsylvania, if anyone knows where that is. It's right outside of Kutztown. So, the mayor unfortunately passed away, and so there was an open house going on in Lyons, and I went because that's the most interesting thing that has happened in Lyons since I've been there. And so someone said you should run for mayor, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? And so I'm running for mayor now.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
And wait, so there's no mayor right now? What?
Yeah,
There's someone running for mayor, right?
Yeah, there's no mayor. I'm running as an independent. I put my signatures in like June, I believe. And then someone's running a write-in campaign. So it's me and another dude.
Excuse me, did you say are you opposed by anyone or nobody's opposing you?
Yeah, someone's opposing me. It's a write-in, but write-ins rarely work if there's a person on the ballot. So,
Yeah.
I should be fine.
Well, I'm excited. I gave your name to the young forwardist too, because I'm sure they'd be excited to talk to you. And you know, that's great.
Yeah,
You can be the next Mayor Pete.
Mayor P. I was gonna say he emailed me, so I emailed him back. I'll say this is there's nothing. I'm going door to door in my town, so it's a very personal campaign because I can knock on every single door in a couple of days. So I'd rather talk to people in person and gather their issues and concerns and aggregate them. But I do want to do events in the town in the future. I think there's a lot of potential with the town, so I'll keep you guys informed. About all that. If there's
That's
anything
great.
you guys can help out with.
Love it.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for sharing.
Hey,
Hey, sorry if this is obvious. Are you running us forward?
Independent.
Independent. Okay.
I put in my signatures before I considered getting endorsed. I was talking because I have good, like I'm signed up with Good Party to do this campaign, and I asked, I was like, is this strategically a good idea? And they said, yeah, we recommend it. So I was like, I probably should dip my toes in the water, and I've been observing for like as you can 3 years ago I emailed about the Forward Party. So I've been watching the Forward Party since its inception, actually. So I've been observing from a distance.
Well, we're happy to hear about this. So that's exciting. Keep us
Thank you.
posted.
Absolutely.
Curious. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm curious, are there any special circumstances that led to your running almost unopposed? I don't know how large a town Lyons is, so that might play into it.
It's a town of 439 people. So what happened is basically once I said I'm running for mayor, a lot of people who were considering it didn't do it because it's a lot of work that they don't want to do. And because Lyons is a very small town, we have a very small budget, and also therefore a lot of the responsibilities that maybe a professional staff would have, I'm probably gonna. So basically, once someone's realized that someone's running for mayor, they're like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to run." And so that's what happened. That's a lot of local municipal stuff. It's usually oh, okay, someone else is doing it, so I don't have to do it.
So Alex, congratulations in advance for your win in November.
Thanks.
So anybody want to have some fun? I had no idea where Lyons is, and I thought I knew Berks County pretty well. So I just went and looked it up on Wikipedia. You have a whopping 4.5 miles of roads, public roads.
Yeah, it's there's nothing you can drive through the town. It was funny. I was just at the Parks and Recreation Board meeting today. And I said that we should have a block party in town because if we have a block party, that means the entire town's in the party. You know what I
I'm,
mean?
I'm surprised you have a mayor for such a small group of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of micro municipalities in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
The worst I've seen is in up in Schuylkill County, Gilberton. Gilberton is like a street, and that's a borough. I don't know who allowed that to happen, but it's a very Pennsylvania municipal, like how municipalities run in Pennsylvania and our government is very strange.
Do you
Uh,
have a city council?
we do have a borough council,
A
so
borough council. Mhm.
there's a lot of controversy. You would be surprised how much drama and gossip there is in such a
No,
small
it's taking
town.
place.
Well, I think we all ought to go in September when you have your world-renowned fiddle festival.
That moved to Fleetwood, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
This is one of the dramas, dude. This is one of the dramas is that they didn't fix the park. Like the borough council was dragging their feet on fixing the park, and so they had to move the fiddle festival, and so we lost it. And the other issue is that there's a lot of volunteers for the fiddle fest. That was very volunteer based, and volunteerism is declining in nationwide, and so not a lot of people came. It just slowly, not a lot of volunteers.
So just as a totally unrelated factoid, my ex-wife was the science department chair at Ole, which I think is right.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Nice.
I wonder if some of it has to do with like the old charters in like Pennsylvania being such an old colony, and if like once you have a charter and you're a municipality, like never let it go. Like, because we do have like, then there's like I live in Ambler, right? And there's in the borough, and then there's outside of the borough, and there's these
Yeah.
boroughs and towns, and like I bet like you're not gonna probably find that in like New Mexico, you know?
Yeah, because Pennsylvania, it's in our state law that every piece of land has to be governed by a municipality. And also, the way that municipalities like thinking about merging and stuff like that, counties don't have a lot of power in Pennsylvania because we're a commonwealth. So it's very hard for like like realistically speaking, a lot of these boroughs shouldn't exist, and they should be a part of a wider structure. And the problem is that there's not a lot of tools for these municipalities to use to do anything. Whole thing. I don't want to ramble about it because that's my interest. I'm going into public administration. But I was gonna say if anyone wants to, I'm trying to see if I can get like WFMZ or the Reading Eagle to highlight what's going on because I want to revitalize the town and advertise it. So I was hoping I want to get the Reading Eagle on my campaign, basically, so I can talk about the town. So if anyone wants to email the Reading Eagle or WFMC so they pay attention to me more, feel free. So it's the only thing.
Is that the local newspaper? I'm sorry, the Reading Eagle is.
Yeah, that's the local.
Okay,
That's
okay.
like Berks County. That's what.
Yeah,
they
we
serve.
can definitely send some things their way.
Please do. You can drive a golf ball through the town. Yeah, basically. It's such a small. You do a 40-minute walk and you've done the entire town, like every single street. It's really funny. But if anyone drives through Lions, you'll be able to see my yard signs here and there. So, take a photo, send it to me, I guess.
All right. Anything else? Ready? We're going to adjourn then, and until next time, see you. Stay safe. See you again.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks,
Have a good
Ben.
day.
Nice job.
Thanks, Ben. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.